Okay, family, I'm back at it again with another quick affiliate marketing AI food for action training. Now, this right here, it's not going to be a long training. I want to talk specifically about one of my favorite tools, which is Artistly, and how to create a consistent character so that you can make various pictures and different things using one specific character. Now, with this tool, you have so many options, so many things that you can actually go to in order to get the perfect design for whatever it is that you're trying to do. So it's on you to decide what section you really want to tackle. But seeing as though we're talking about consistent characters, a lot of people might want to go to, let's say, their consistent character section, which is right here, where you can train your own AI consistent character, right? Let's let's start off there. Let's start off with this section here. If you go there, it's going to ask you to either upload a current character, maybe it's a picture of yourself, or to choose something from the library. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to start off in the consistent character section. What I recommend is that you go over here to the AI Art Illustrator. Now, the reason for this is because in the AI Art Illustrator, these right here are different styles. There are various styles that you can actually create your pictures in. And I kind of look at these as their own separate AI that's fine tuned to give you exactly, you know, the particular style. So mystic fantasy, nose, noise vector illustration, oil painting style. So this right here is designed to give you the exact type. So instead of going to, let's say, a realistic photo section or going to like the AI image designer and just saying, hey, create from prompt, I don't want you to go there because if you go there, then with the prompt that you create or that you use, you're going to need to be very specific. Do you want it to be a Pixar style character? Do you want it to be an ultra realistic style character? You're going to have to make sure that you fully prompt it and give it as much detail as possible to create that particular style. So that's why I want you to go back to the AI Art Illustrator section and decide if you want something that looks fairly realistic or, as close to realistic as possible, you can try this AAA game style. That looks pretty good. Or you can go down and try what I usually like, which is the Mystic Fantasy. Mystic Fantasy does create some fairly realistic, realistic style pictures. Or if you want to go more Pixar style, then you have that option. But in our recent picture that we created, I used this one right here. This right above my head. This is called a soft woolen fiber style. I never heard of that before, but I liked it because it gave a pretty good visual aspect. So I'm going to click on that right now, and it's going to open up the prompt section. And first thing I always like to do is click the dimensions that I want to create my character in. So I'm just going to click 9 by 16, right? And I'm going to pick the quantity of 4. Now that I have that selected, now I have to decide on the prompt. So the first thing that I like to do is go to, what I call the most valuable document in all of online marketing, which I don't have the document up right now, but if you have access to it, I'm going to pull it up real quick for us. And this is the reason why I call it the most valuable document in all of online marketing, right? Because it gives you access to one of my personal favorite tools, which is my GPT, my chat GPT tool that you guys get access to. So I'm going to pull up my personal GPT And I'm going to do this. We're going to flip back and forth. So I'm going to go back to Artistly, and I'm going to do this. There's a specific feature on your laptop that's called the snipping tool. Now, the snipping tool, all you have to do is just go to the bottom of your search bar on your laptop or Mac, and maybe the Mac has it, but I'm a Windows user. So you just type in snipping tool, and it'll give you access to this free tool, which will allow you to take a screenshot picture of whatever you're looking at. And right here is the screenshot that I got, right, of that particular picture. It says the name of the style. And this right here is a little advanced. I know that most people aren't going to show you this particular step or how to go about doing things this way, but that's why I like to do things a little unconventional, just to give you as much detail as possible so that you're in the best position to do things correctly. So all I did was I didn't even save that picture. I don't need to save it to my hard drive. I just wanted to right click and copy that picture, and then I'm going to paste it right here into the GPT. Now I'm going to say to my GPT, I want you to act as a master
They keep telling you, stay motivated. Watch this. Listen to that. Get inspired. But what happens when the video ends? When the music fades? When nobody's clapping, watching, or waiting for you to win? What moves you then? I used to run on borrowed energy, quotes, speeches, people hyping me. Felt unstoppable for a moment, then I'd crash, like it was never in me. That's the problem with external fuel. It burn quick, don't last, don't rule. You dependent on a source outside, so when it disappears, so do you. I was chasing feelings, not building fire, waiting to feel ready instead of climbing higher. But readiness ain't a mood you catch, it's a discipline you wire. So I had to ask myself something different. If nobody ever told me keep going, would I answer that honestly? I realize purpose don't scream, it whispers. It ain't in the crowd, it's found in the mirror. It ain't in applause or validation checks. It's in what you do when there's nothing to flex. Motivation temporary, purpose permanent. One phase away, the other's inherent. You don't wake up feeling it every day, but purpose don't care how you feel anyway. It moves through you even when you're tired, even when life feel misaligned and wired. It's that quiet push you can't explain. I say do it again through the doubt and pain. So I stopped asking how do I feel and started asking what's real, what's mine to build, what's mine to create. That's when I found something stronger than fate. I don't need a reason, I am the reason. I am the reason. I don't need the feeling, I don't need the feeling. I move with meaning. No more waiting, no more waiting, no more chasing, no more chasing. Internal driver, that's what's leading. Yeah. Now I move like it's already decided. No hesitation, no need to be guided. I built a system inside of my soul that don't break down when I'm losing control. External noise don't shake my direction. I learned to operate without the connection. Not disconnected but self-sustained. Energy internal, never drained. I don't need hype, I don't need cheers. I done built this through blood, sweat, tears. Every rep carved into my frame. Now discipline calling me by name. This is what it looked like when purpose drive. You ain't just working, you feel alive. Even in struggle, there's something deeper. You not just moving, you moving with meaning. Listen close. Purpose don't shout, it pulls. It don't beg, it demands. And once you feel it, you can't go back. There's gonna be days you don't feel like it. Do it anyway. There's gonna be days you question everything. Keep going anyway. Because the ones who make it ain't the most motivated. They the most committed. To something deeper than motivation. That's what's leading. When the world go quiet, when the noise disappear, when nobody's watching, that's when you find out if you really got it, or if you was just borrowing it. Borrowing it.
These 5 words saved me. I'll put in the work. Now, this right here is something that might be uncomfortable for the majority of people. Because what I found on a daily basis is, even within my own community, there's people that don't want to put in the work. They're looking for a shortcut. Every time a new product or service is presented and put in front of them that's supposedly designed to help them make things easier, they jump at it. They run scrambling to it. They're willing to open up their pockets just to buy that product that's going to, in their mind, keep them from having to put in the work. They do these things and the same results come. No results at all. You're not building your list. You're not building the know, like, and trust with your audience. You're not showing your face on camera. You're not talking to these people, solving their actual problems. What you're looking for is a shortcut. You're not willing to put in the work. See, things didn't change for me until I actually stopped looking for the shortcut. Now, I know everybody will tell you, you don't need to learn the tech. You don't need to learn how to do this. You don't need to do this, that, or third. They make it seem like, hey, soon AI will be able to wipe your ass for you. And I bet there'll be people that'll be scrambling to get that special AI that's going to do that for them. But no, not me. I'll put in the work. And that's the only thing that's going to help you become successful. Me personally, I don't like lazy. Lazy people are not who I want to connect with. I only want to connect with people that are willing to put in the work, because I know that only doing the work will lead to the results that you want. So if you're interested in putting in the work, if the word work is a word that does not scare you, then you are my target audience. And I bet you, I almost guarantee you, that on the other side of putting in that work, you will get the results you want. So comment hustle if you're ready to actually do the work. See you on the inside.
I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepare was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, you know, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is Strong 61, day one, and we are right at 18 minutes into today's challenge. So let's start by, as usual, pulling back the curtain so that we can do what? So that we can expose the most valuable document in all of online marketing. Now, before I get to it, I want to ask you guys this question. You know, that beginner intro training, it was a little bit different. See, I didn't allow the AI to come in and do the work in the beginning, right? I, you know, I stepped forward. I showed you something a little bit different. And I did that on purpose. I did that for a reason. I did that because, we just recently hit a milestone. We celebrated 300 consistent live streams. No breaks, no interruptions, no making up excuses, no saying, oh, I'm sick today and, I'll show up tomorrow. No, none of that BS. That goes with the theme. That goes with the theme that we solidified and that you should already know. When it comes to being consistent, I think I've proven myself to be consistent. Now, if you want me to compete with anybody else on any type of level, there's one thing that I'm confident in, right? And hopefully you can say, after doing something consistently 300 times, maybe you'll be able to say, hey, I think he could win on that level. He can talk his shit on that particular level of consistency. So we got that solidified. So it also says that I'm willing to put in the work. So that was the theme of that last, the next to last video, talking about putting in the work, the 5 words that saved me. I'll put in the work. You know this. You see this on a daily basis. And if you don't believe it, you know, that first video, or I should say the second video in the intro, that should further solidify that I'll put in the work. That right there was a small snippet of a training that I created. It's not even a new training. It's something that I've had created for a little bit. See, when you don't see me on camera doing a live, that means I'm off camera putting in the work. I don't know about what everybody else is doing. I don't know about your coach, your mentor, whatever they're doing when you don't see them on camera. I just know what it is that I do. So now that I've built up this muscle memory of consistently showing up, and I know I got that down, right? Now it's time to add on to the other things that, I'm consistent at that you might not, see on a daily basis. Now, I create trainings. Yeah, I'm not one of those type of people that, talk a lot and just say, hey, click the link in my bio. Let me send you here and hand you off to somebody else that's going to do all the work. No, no. See that right there, to me, in my opinion, that's lazy. Now, if you're lazy, that's all right. That's all right. You can learn to not be lazy. And part of learning not to be lazy is to do what we do here in the Hustleverse on a daily basis. And what I encourage you guys to do, and that is to show up. All you have to do is simply show up. Once when you start showing up on a daily basis, you start building that consistency. Then you might want to add something else to the repertoire. You want to start, opening up the doc. Every time you see me open up the doc, you should be saying to yourself, oh, this is muscle memory right here. I need to open up that most valuable document in all of online marketing. Okay, now once when you get into the habit of, not being afraid or not being too lazy to open up the doc, then you might say to yourself, oh, well, it has words on the doc. Let me start, reading the information on a daily basis. Once when you start reading the information on a daily basis, then you might want to step it up and say, hey, I'm going to actually take action and start doing what it states in the document. That's when you start doing the work. That's when you start putting in the work. And then the more you do, the more you're capable of adding on to what you do. See, that beginning training created that, and I wanted to just give you a little taste of it because I wanted you to understand fully the person that you're dealing with. Now, I might be being a little petty right now. I came on a little, little petty, maybe, but we have to elevate to the next level. And going to the next level of anything, it requires being bolder. It requires, not staying the same, not staying comfortable within what you are currently doing. Because, a lot of the problems that I see most people having is that they'll get into a rhythm of doing things and they'll get so comfortable. They'll get into the rhythm of, hanging out with the person, you know, let's say, for example, you're the type of person that, you go out with somebody, you go out with a group of people, and every time you go out with them, that person says, you know something, I'll pay. I got this. And you like, okay, cool. Then the next time you go out with them, they like, I got this. It's okay. And then it continues to go on and on and on. And then at some point, you don't even attempt to reach for your wallet. You already have it in your mind that I ain't got to do nothing. That person is going to take care of it. But the whole time, that person is kind of like, I'm doing this because I'm a nice person. I want to be helpful. I want to treat my people and, show them that, I'm the type of person that can, you know, take care of the bill. I'm the type of person that's a team player. You don't have to always have it. You can count on me. But at the same time, that person is also looking to see who's going to actually step up and say, no, 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 man, you've taken care of it the last 3 times, the last 4 times, the last 5 times. I can't allow you to do it this time. Let me just stop you right there. I got it this time. You've done enough. You've shown me that, if I need it, you gonna handle it. Now I gotta be willing to show you that I can handle it too. So hey, now we can grow the group. Now we can invite more people out. Maybe next time, we go out, we get a couple more people to come with us, and both of us we split it together. Now we're able to build. Now we're able to grow. You cover half, I cover the other half. So people are always looking for situations like that. And I don't know, maybe it's me being from where I'm from. I tell everybody that, you know, it's a blessing and a curse to be raised in the hood. A lot of y'all, y'all so happy that, you never had to be raised around poverty. You never had to be raised in the hood. You never had to grow up in certain environments. But it's those experiences that allow certain people to be able to become the best versions of themselves. See, even though I grew up around a lot of poverty and people with, certain mindsets, I got to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. I got to see what it looks like when a person is that type of person that says, I got this, bro. I got this. And then I got to see the look on their face when, they do it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. And then the man's is not even trying to, at that point, nobody even bringing their wallets no more. They leaving their wallet at home because he like, oh, my boy got it. I've recognized and seen the looks on people's faces when it's like, okay, I guess I'll take care of it this time too. That right there is a lesson. That right there is something that you learn from. That's an experience that some people have to go through in order to be able to identify the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I've seen a lot of things in my life, and just like I try to tell you on a daily basis, even if it's not, but to look at the way the wind blow, look at how the trees swing, look at how the worker is outside the window right now. He's doing the landscaping, understanding how things work, understanding that yeah, I go live at 9 a.m. EST time, but the workers, they show up at the same time too, realizing that okay, it's noise outside my window right now, but the fact that I have a pretty decent microphone, and that's on purpose because it has noise canceling. Everything works hand in hand, right? That's how you have to start looking at things. How do we put these things together? How do we build a business? How do we build a team? How do we build a community that's based off of not just one person doing all the work, but everybody collectively putting in the work to get the job done that much better and easier? Now, I've learned that too. I learned that nothing ever really works until you implement teamwork. See, teamwork, leverage systems, whatever you want to call it, that's something that you need. And it takes work in order to build those types of things. But going forward, we're going to continue to build on that. I've given you the mindset information, and hopefully you've gotten a mindset switch and you're starting to think outside of the box. Now we're going to move more deeper into doing the work. Hopefully you've been doing the work so far as we've been going through this journey. But we want to step into it even more. And in order for us to step into doing the work, as a leader, as a coach, as a mentor, whatever you want to call me, but as somebody that's here to, lead the way, set the standard, and hopefully you see what it is and you say, okay, I could do that. And you know something, you can fall back. I'm going to take over that aspect. I got that covered. See how that works? It's all on you to find the information and then act accordingly and do what's necessary. So I want to pull up real quick another tab, and it's still within the same system, right? I love using Canva. It's a pretty simple tool. You can use it for free. So for the people that want to make excuses about, is this free? Is that free? Well, here's something free that you can use that can help you build a business. Now, everything that we use isn't free. So don't get into the habit once again of saying, oh, I ain't got to pay for this. Okay, that's free. That's free. And then you start getting into the habit and the mindset of, I'm just going to leave my wallet. I'm going to leave my wallet at home because it's already covered. See? See how that works? No. Always be prepared and always be willing to go beyond to the next level. So look at this right here. It says, these 5 words saved me. And I already gave you the basis of the 5 words, right? So we know we put in the work. But now let's see. These 5 words is learn skills, then apply product. So that's what we're doing here. That's what we do on a daily basis. We teach valuable skills to people who find value in valuable things. See, there's an old saying, I think it goes back to biblical times. It says, in order to become, first you have to be. In order to become, first you have to be. So you have to be it. You have to be the right person for the job. One of my favorite speakers who's, no longer with us, he's been gone for years and years and years. He said, man, it just slipped my mind just that fast. But he said so many great things that, I know it'll come back to me. But in order to be, in order to become something, you first have to be. And hey, makes me think of another great person. He's not even a public speaker, but um, he's a great speaker. Ric Flair. To be the man, you have to beat the man. And a lot of times, a lot of you're falling back, and you're not even thinking about being in competition with the man. You just let the man be the man, and I'm just gonna follow suit. I'm gonna follow lead. I'm gonna follow his lead, and I'm just gonna be the the second guy or the third guy or whatever it is, right? But this is what you need to do. These are the 5 words that saved me. Learn skills, then apply product. Now, in order to do that, we're going to go down different corridors. We're going to go down different corridors. There's different rooms that we can actually go into that's going to help us learn different skills. In that beginning training, that was one of those rooms that we could enter. Now, I cracked the door open for you guys just a little bit so that you can get a taste of what's in that room. And that right there, as we pull the curtain further down, right? That one was more so in the category of content creation. So in that beginning training, I was giving you insight into a tool that I use in order to create content. Now, I've been using that tool for over the last year. So it's not something that I just started using and, it sounds good and or anything like that. It's something that I've actually used consistently and it's produced consistent results for me. And matter of fact, it's about to get an upgrade, another update in probably the next few weeks. So it's a tool that shows up consistently. The company that actually create the tool, they show up, the owners show up, they provide free trainings, they provide free upgrades, and they keep things going. They respect their community enough to say, hey, we're going to put in the work to make our product better and better and better. We're going to listen to your request. We're going to listen to your pain points, and we're going to deliver more and more value so that you love us, that you want to be part of our mission, that you want to share our products and services with other people so that we can further grow and we can continue on this particular cycle of building, getting better, and providing more value for you. So that beginning training was about content creation. So when we talk about putting in the work, I want to ask you guys, who do you know now, or who do you follow? Who do you learn from that specifically has training on content creation? Now, I don't mean training from the standpoint of they're selling a product or service that somebody else created that's designed to help you create content faster, that's designed to automate a process to make you more lazier, right? No, not that type of training, but somebody that has a training that's showing you step by step how to do this process from point A to point Z. How many of you have someone that is actually teaching you skills that you can use and that requires you to do some actual work? Now, that's one of the key words that a lot of people fear and they want to avoid. They want to be lazy once again. Now, I don't want you to come back to me and say, yeah, I got somebody that's teaching me content creation. They shared with me a tool that I can use that's going to create content. And all I got to do is just put in a simple prompt and boom, it's just going to automate it and do it. No, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about somebody giving you something that's still not going to help you because you're going to become more lazy. You're going to allow the tool to do all of the work. Yeah, it'll give you back some time, but time to do what? What do you need? That's another question. What do you need all this free time for? You think that you're going to go on vacation 24/7? Is that the life that you want to live? I know a lot of people want to do that, be able to vacation 24/7. Well, me myself, I think anything repetitively would get old and boring fast. Staying on a resort, doing nothing, waking up to, the same old routine of not having to do any type of work, anything at all, would get boring. What I'm talking about is giving you something that will feed your spirit, something that will give you purpose. And one of the only few ways that you can actually live life full of purpose is through the work you do. So you have to do some type of work. It's the same reason why a lot of people they stick with their job even though they might hate it, and they'll stick with it 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And then the moment that they retire and they don't have any more work to go to on a daily basis, you know, even though, yeah, they're older, so it's expected that soon enough they're going to pass away. But a lot of people, soon as they give up that job, soon as they say they're not doing any more work, that's when their purpose leaves. And that's when they leave because there's no other reason for them to be here. They get tired, they get bored, they get lazy, and then poof, they're gone. I want you to be here and have a life of purpose. Even if it means that you have to work a few hours a day, that's your purpose. And that's what you should be proud of. The fact that you can actually do something, the fact that you put in your human capacity, even if you're using AI to do 95% of the work, let that 5% of the work that you have to do fulfill you, and make sure that you do as much as possible to make sure that that final creation is something unique, something that the AI wouldn't have been able to create alone because it took your human input to make it special. So content creation, that's something that I want to teach you. And if you want access to that exclusive training that I started sharing with you guys, you know, all you got to do is comment content, and I will share with you that exclusive training so that you can actually learn some skills. Now, I put here website creation. That could be website creation, funnel creation. That's some of that tech work, right? Some of that tech work that people tell you you don't have to learn how to do that. But that stuff can be fun also. So to show you a little bit representation in that, I got something else to show you. But I want to talk to you guys about this. Have you heard of vibe coding? Now, that's a phrase that I don't really use, but I hear a lot of people saying it. And at first, I was like, "Yo, what is this vibe coding?" But I get it. Vibe coding is one of those, catchy terms that basically stands for now I could be even more lazy. It's another term for now I can be a little more lazy. Now I can just put a prompt in something and say, hey, just create this for me. And it's going to create the website for you, and you're all good to go. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that even with the vibe coding, you'll get the basic shell of something. but you still have to do some work. You still have to configure it. So vibe coding is still not 100%. You can make it 100% if you do the extra work, because, just like with anything, most people won't do the extra work. They'll say something like, hey, create me a website for this, that, and the third. It'll build the website. But then the fact that on that website, you have to have clickable links, you have to have other type of information on there, you know, it might not have that because you, as the skilled professional, didn't put in the work of prompting, giving it all the information that it needed in order to create the perfect website. But even with that, I did a little, I guess you could say, vibe coding myself, right? And I'm gonna show you something real quick. I was using one of my favorite tools, which is ChatGPT, and I was using the specific feature of it called ChatGPT Work, right? So let me just pull this over here into view. So ChatGPT Work, which still is known as Codex, right? In a way, I asked it to create me a website based off of, you know, my particular niche, what it is that makes me special and what I bring to the table, right? So I got a promotion that, I'm doing and I want to share with my community. It allows them to learn how to create content, right? And while they're learning how to create content, specifically, I'm doing a little focus on AI UGC content, right? So now that I'm teaching people how to create UGC content, they got the videos, the visuals, and stuff like that. Now I want to give them even more. I want to add that more human element. I want to do my part. I want to put in the work. So you watch a video, and what's a video without, a soundtrack, that background music, that sound that makes things, a little bit better. So this right here is a website that, ChatGPT created for me. Says the next chapter after the AI UGC blueprint, which is the document that I'm sharing with my community, right? It says your videos look better. Now let's make them sound better. In this particular website that it created, it's okay, it's cool, but like I stated, this right here, this is a button, but this particular button doesn't go anywhere. It's because I gave it the shell, the basis of the type of website that I want it to create. Because my goal isn't to just have them build my website, just be hands free, and then I'm just going to share this link with somebody and say, hey, there you go. No, that wasn't the goal. The goal was to get a foundational view of what I could create. Now, me personally, I like to put in the work. So I'm like, okay, how can I put in the work? Well, one way I can put in the work is by using specific tools that allow me to put in the work. So now you have one of my favorite website builders, which is called the Mega Builder. And it allows me to create whatever type of websites I want and, configure them in whatever style that I want. See, this is me putting in the work. This is the part that a lot of people fear. They look at this and then they go back to here. They say, "Oh, wow, AI did that. Let me get the AI tool and let me just have it do that." And all of, you know, it might have took about 10 minutes or so, let's say, and they'll be satisfied with it. See, sometimes speed is the most important thing to a person. Sometimes, it's kind of like, people wanting to get rich quick. That might be good enough for people or whatever. It's kind of like, growing up in the hood, and some people, they didn't want to work a job, so they went out and they robbed. They did things like that. They'll rob, they'll steal, and the money that they got, you know, they'd be happy with that. They'd be like, okay, I didn't rob the store, I done did this, that, and the third. I got the money now, and they feel like they accomplished something. They got the end result, but how do they feel after getting that end result? You didn't do the actual work. Well, you put in the work, as we would say, to get that money, but you didn't do an honorable job. You didn't do a job that you can be proud of in order to earn that money. See, there's multiple ways to get to the same result, but different people will experience different feelings and different rewards and punishments based off of how they go about doing these things. So, yeah, this right here gave me the foundation, but I say, you know something? I want to build it myself. I want to learn some valuable skills. I want to learn how to, recreate these things. I want to, build something that, now the link right here, I put something behind this. So once when you click the link on the actual page, it's going to take you somewhere that's going to allow you to get access to specific things. And I'm working on it. I'm building it out. I'm going back and forth. I'm making it better. I'm looking at the live page that I created. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. Why? Because I built this. I built this. I put in the work. These past over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, it might have took, 2 days, but not a full 24 hours each day. But, while I was in the midst of still enjoying my day, watching content, having fun, this was fun for me also. It was rewarding. This is, just the beginning. I'm still tweaking it to make it look even better. Make it look the way that I really want it to look. But this is this is something that came from my personal work. Me learning how to use the tools, me putting things together, me having something that I actually created that I have to offer. See, this right here is for an offer that I'm going to provide to my community. And it's based off of some things that I've created. So going back to the UGC document, you're going to need some background music. You're going to need some music that you can use for your videos to tell your stories. And I want to be able to help you with that. I want to be able to, you know, fill that void that you might have. This is part of the excitement and the reward, feeling of accomplishing something, the feeling of saying, yes, I put in the work. Most people won't put in the work. Most people won't do what's necessary. And for the few people that will do what's necessary, there will be an internal reward on the other side. And there will be an external reward because people will be able to see that, hey, this person is different. This person has something of value. They can actually teach me something. They know what they're talking about. They don't just let, somebody else take control and do everything, but they actually can step up and say, hey, you know, I got a business partner that teaches this, that, and the third. That's his lane. I got another business partner that teaches this, that, and the third. That's her lane. But me, I have my own lane. And if they want to bring people from their community who want to learn additional things, then they can look at me and say, you know, I got a business partner that's in this lane. He knows what he's doing. And that's what I want for you. So I know we went a little heavy today on, Take Your Heart Back Monday, but I think it was fitting because you need to be waking up. You need to be grabbed and shaken so that you can start taking back your heart. I want you to start thinking about the work that you can do. And if you're interested in doing that work with me, I want you to comment hustle. I got an exclusive opportunity for you to join me so that you can start putting in the work and start being deserving of the rewards that comes from putting in the work. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live. I hope you enjoy your day. I hope if you've just coming off your weekend and this is your day one back at work, I hope you have something that inspires you now and motivates you now, and that you can say, hey, well, I got something to look forward to. I got something that I can learn, something that I can actually implement, and something that I can use to make the rest of my life the best of my life. So with that, we're going to close out like we always do. And I got more work to do. So that's the fun part for me. We're going to close out. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I want to see you tomorrow in tomorrow's live. And of course, we know tomorrow being Tuesday, there will be a live training hosted by one of my business partners. So they're going to do their job and I'm going to continue to do my job, right? So enjoy the rest of your day. We'll talk about that tomorrow. And yeah, comment hustle once again so that you can get started. See you in the next video.
Woke up to silence, dreams still heavy. Phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane. But I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's gain. That got me dancing with denial at night. Scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day, sounded small at first, but in silence, even whispers can quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink. Mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. People laugh, said she doing too much. Till my PayPal pinged, then they changed up the touch. No big brand, no six-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spitting like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted. But now my bars turn pain into coated. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chance, for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain. Cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the misled path where math meets message and message meets math. Community over clicks, value over hype. I ain't here to trend, I'm here to type. Blueprints for the ones still stuck in fear. Let them borrow my belief till their purpose clear. Haters still quiet, but I'm loud with grace. Posting in peace, not a mask on my face. Every bar I drop, every beat I ride, I'm freeing the ones with the pain they hide. 10 minutes ain't much, but it changed my name. Turned struggle into strength and broke the game. I ain't sell a dream, I became one. Legacy started, now watch it run.